Good afternoon. My name is Ken Florence. I'm the Director of Product here at LightPath. I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Jin Yang, who's one of the product managers in our organization. And today, we're going to talk about the new Wi-Fi, what your organization needs to succeed, the various different components that are involved in it, and then at the end, we'll do a nice question and answer session as we've done in the past. So I want to thank you all for joining. With that, we'll get started. Let's hit the next slide. Okay, when we talk about today's Wi-Fi, right, we know that we have mobile users and guests that expect reliable, fast Wi-Fi for their devices. It's a critical component to most businesses that are out there today, and not just for guests, but also for the internal users or folks that work within the organization. But as we talk about the various different components of the new Wi-Fi, one of the major aspects that comes along with that instantiation of Wi-Fi is the ability to have portals that allow guests to connect to the Wi-Fi and have their personalized digital services for visitors or employees through a portal that can be custom branded. Wi-Fi calling is a huge aspect of today's new Wi-Fi. It'll let users place and receive calls, minimize their costs from having to roam, and then utilize the Wi-Fi internet to make those connections to various different people instead of utilizing their cellular signal. And then today, as we are moving further and further into better technologies, the ability to have remote sensors or the ability to have the Internet of Thing devices and sensors to create opportunities where we have boilers that may be leaking, identify the various different lumens that are coming out of various different light fixtures for buildings. Those are all becoming IoT enabled or Wi-Fi enabled that will allow you to see security systems, identify various different healthcare devices, and also automate building management metrics, if you will, so that you have an insight as to what is being utilized, what's not being utilized. Do we have problems in various different areas that feed into a portal to give you the metrics that you need to make good decisions? So what's allowing all of this to happen is the general progression of what's happening with Wi-Fi and how it has transitioned from the early 80s all the way through to today. If you think back in time to when Wi-Fi first came out, you probably remember those big honking routers, if you will, that had some form of Wi-Fi antennas off the back. And it was great because we could put a wireless 802.11b signal out there, right? And I think at the time you could probably do, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 28 meg if you were lucky, or 9.8 meg. Then you went to G, right, which gave you the 54, and then you went to N, right? So that was all part of that first iteration of Wi-Fi. Since then, we moved up probably into the, I'll say mid to late 90s, where we hit the 5, and the AC mechanisms where we could get much higher speeds, and then out to 6. And now that's kind of where we're hitting now, right? We have Wi-Fi 6 that's out today. With the AX component to it, as well as the 6E, which is the efficient component utilizing various different channels. While the 6E is out there today and they're looking at it, I don't think it's readily available in many of the devices that are out there, but it definitely has some promise as folks are starting to develop those hardware needs and those capabilities. And each one of these, as you notice, as the progression grew throughout time, speed became much more of a factor. And as of the latest, in the latest iteration of the Wi-Fi 6, you have various streams that you can utilize. And the antennas that were out there would utilize an omnidirectional antenna in the beginning. And now we have beam steering antennas that can go straight to the folks that are sending those streams to the access points, and those access points will talk right back to the individual devices that are connecting on those streams, and use multiple streams to achieve even greater and more efficient speed. So as we talk about Wi-Fi 6E, it's a new frequency. It's, like I said, it has better speeds and better capabilities. There are brand new bands that are in the 6 gigahertz arena, and it has less interference or congestion with lower latency and faster speeds due to the wider, higher capacity channels that we couldn't use before. Beamforming, as I mentioned before, was improved for better connectivity and signal, and then you'd have less interference. That's because the antennas dynamically shape their main output and null beam in the direction according to that of the users that are connecting to the access point, like I mentioned earlier. Right? It's a much more stronger signal as well as a much more defined security component as well. You get reduced latency and increased mobile device battery time because the signaling doesn't have to be updated consistently as those devices are connecting, right? As we all know, if you want to save battery life on your mobile phone, everybody says just turn the Bluetooth off, right? Well, same thing with your Wi-Fi, right? You could save a tremendous amount of battery in your mobile devices if you turn the Wi-Fi off. Obviously, it would impede the amount of data that you could exchange with whoever you're trying to exchange it with or what resource you're connecting to. But the truth of the matter is, because of the constant pinging back and forth, it leverages a lot of cycles, which then drains the battery. With Wi-Fi 6E, it doesn't have to go out and constantly ping in the frequency that the older frequencies had to. It's a faster and smoother user experience, right? We use MIMO, which is multiple in, multiple out, and it's multiple user as well. So it's not just one person with multiple in and out, but everyone can have multiple different frequencies that they're connecting in and out, which increases the efficiency as well as speed. And it's backwards compatible. So if your devices go all the way back to the antiquated B, G, or N, it can talk in that protocol as well. Now, we mentioned security, and obviously in the world we're in today, security is of paramount importance. So with Wi-Fi, right, we have to make sure that we don't allow our cyber attackers an opening or a hole for them to seek out and actually get into our systems so that they can steal vital information such as credit card numbers, personal information, or anything of that way. So when you think about the landscape of cyber attacks today, there's over 9.7 billion records that have been breached to date. It's growing on a daily basis. So we want to ensure that whatever we put in place and what we instantiate in our network, that we are utilizing something that's going to help us protect those threats. So what we do is we segregate as part of our approach to increase our security posture. Is we always suggest that you segregate your guest Wi-Fi from your corporate Wi-Fi to reduce those risks of network breaches, right? The guest Wi-Fi's usually setups in the various different Wi-Fi solutions have the ability to stop unit-to-unit type communications so that people can't hop on your stream and get your information from your mobile device, your laptop, or anything that way. We have enterprise-grade security that's included in today's latest and greatest Wi-Fi solutions, right? It has a connection, any of the access points that are wired back into a corporate switch or a place of that you're frequenting, whether it's a coffee shop or a business or anything that way. As you connect, those access points are connected back into a switch. Those switches have a very basic denial of service protection at the switch port. It doesn't protect you against volumetric or various different types. Honestly, when you think about denial of service, it's a much bigger type of attack stream. But for the most part, what they will do is they'll shut that port down as part of that configuration so that the other ports on the switch can still continue to function. The latest and greatest of Wi-Fi that's out today also has various different security protocols that have been hardened to help out. It uses WPA2 with advanced encryption for the standard password encryption for you to connect. You can't just click and connect. You have a challenge and acceptance type environment in which you're putting that all in play. There's multi-level user passwords, and then there's also SSH, which is a secure shell or secure socket layer SSL for encrypted user logins as well. So as you can tell, the authentication, authorization, and accounting, AAA, for authentication with radius service and TACACS is also available out there today, depending on what your infrastructure supports. So the level of security and the amount of the security posture that you want to implement, that all depends upon how your overall network is. But today's latest and greatest Wi-Fi has the ability to support those various different organic type of solutions that you put into your network. So with that, I am going to turn this over to Jin for his input here on the LightPath Managed Wi-Fi support in a couple of slides. But for right now, I want to talk about what we offer as a solution, okay? For the most part, when we develop this product, we put in a solution that helps work for your organization. We want to partner with our customers to ensure that we put together a solution that works as a whole for them. So we put in a custom-built solution with no upfront costs to include indoor, outdoor access points, right? And switches that with a cloud-based controller that allows you to connect to that portal. Right, those professional access points layout and design, we do a complete design. We get floor plans. We have a questionnaire that we put in place. And from there, we take it to the customer and ensure that we captured all of the areas, excuse me, that they want coverage for their Wi-Fi. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jin to talk about the professional service and the 24/7 support.
All right. Thank you very much, Ken. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the product manager for Managed Wi-Fi and working on Ken's team in LightPath. So as Ken mentioned, right, the Wi-Fi is an essential needs for your business these days. It's like a power or water. A reliable Wi-Fi solution and enterprise-grade solution is what you need for your business to success here. So as LightPath, we're offering an enterprise-grade solution. We partner with industry lead manufacturing to provide you a one-stop turnkey solution for your business needs, right? So what we do here is that everything is going to be custom built. All what you need to do is provide us your floor plan where you want your Wi-Fi to be covered, and just fill out a very short questionnaire for some questions about the Wi-Fi. We'll take it from there. We will give you a total design from our engineering based on your floor plan. That's going to be heat map Wi-Fi design. Based on that design, we'll send our technician on your side to install the equipment or do the cabling if that's needed. And we're also going to be turn up all this Wi-Fi settings based on what your like username, password, all that kind of configuration you need. We'll set up for you as well. And also we're going to provide you a portal access. This is the customer portal Ken mentioned before, that you could actually change your username, password, or Wi-Fi IDs and schedulings of the Wi-Fi broadcasting on that portal. After everything's set up, you can do that, and you can change it by yourself on that portal as well. Also, there is a splash page for the guest Wi-Fi. So if you have visitors, we have a separate guest Wi-Fi for the visitors, separate from the private, to make sure it's secure. So like you would see those, splash page pop up when you connect to the guest Wi-Fi in the airport, right? We do the same thing. So there is going to be a splash page when people visiting the guest Wi-Fi. We allow you to actually put your brand or logo, company logos on that page. We actually give you the opportunity to actually asking a few questions on that portal as well. So the information that the visitors put on that splash page will be stored in that customer portal. You could access later. You could use that information like the name, phone numbers, or email address for the customer engagement, or you can use that information to monitor your guest Wi-Fi activities as well. So after that, if you have any kind of issues which is related to the Wi-Fi, we're 24/7 support here, right? You just need to give us a call. We have a phone number, 1-800 phone number. You can call us. Our technician, because this is a cloud managed service, right? Our technician will be able to do a remote troubleshooting to just look at these APs or switch their status and to do a basic troubleshooting remotely. If possible, they could fix that as well. And if needed, we'll send our technicians on site, to do any kind of hardware swap or anything further troubleshooting from there. And also, periodically, we'll push out the latest and greatest software to the access points with enhanced features or the security patches to the AP over the air as well. So with that, we'll turn this page to a quick Q&A. See if you guys have any question for me and Ken.
Okay, so I can tell you I received one question here, and given the current 6E protocol that the industry is going to, how long do you think until that will be out in the public? I can tell you that in the research that I've done from the IEEE, I believe right now the first iteration is out, and it should be able to be incorporated into manufacturers' devices by the end of the year is what they're progressing, depending upon how they progress. That's what I had seen, but that's the goal. I see another one. You're designing and looking over the building. Has anything got better for Wi-Fi extenders when it's hard to physically extend the wires in between? So, Jin, I don't know if you want to talk to how we do our designs, but I think the question is about when we're designing the building and it's hard to get cabling, is there a methodology that we employ that can help get access points up and running without running wires? And I'm thinking they're asking about mesh technology.
Yeah, so we do have the access point that we have do support mesh, right? And you don't need a wire to make that work, as long as you have the power to that access point. For ours, our standard is that we do put a wire. It's just for the greatest reliability because we're providing a enterprise grade kind of solution. So we want to make sure everything is reliable. But like Ken said, the access point we have does support mesh and wireless mesh as well. So if there is a need that you don't, there is no kind of cabling there, we do support that over wireless.
Good. Yeah. So as long as we have power there, we should be good, right?
Yeah.
And then we can do mesh over. There's another one here. What kind of portal controls does your enterprise grade product offer as far as logging, statistics, monitoring, and locking down? You want to take a shot at that, Jin?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we do have this kind of customer portal that will show not just the APs, right, and also all the clients that connect to either the private or the guest Wi-Fi network, right? You're going to see which devices. It will tell us this is iPhone or this is Android, right? Even the operating OS, their MAC address, there are single strings. If the AP is on active or there is a offline status, all that information will be you will be able to see that like in a diagram, network diagram, right? So it's just one glass of view of what the network status is, and if there any kind of issue on your access point, and how many connecting to what APs, and if that's connected to a private or guest Wi-Fi. So we do have that, diagram for you to view on this customer portal we're providing you.
And it's a live diagram, right? Just to make sure, right? So when you log into the portal, right, Jen, you see kind of a representation of what the Wi-Fi network looks like. It gives you a green or red indicator in there to say that it's up or down, yeah? And then also it shows you by port, as Jen was mentioning, all the APs that are connected, and then who the devices are that are connected to it. So we worked extensively with many of our customers that signed up for it. To help develop that portal. We took a lot of input to it, and we still continue to do that so that we continue to refresh that and upgrade it as necessary. Okay, let's look at this next one. Is there any good contact email post the webinar that you can reach out to? And I'm thinking that you're asking if you needed to get more information, we will be able. You can contact your account rep, or you can just reach out to the LightPath website and put in a request for someone to call you back, and we'll definitely get back to you, no problem at all. Do you handle Wi-Fi? Can you also offer cell boosters and emergency radio extensions? No, so we don't really, at this particular point in time, we're not doing any kind of cellular extensions or boosters for that. So I think that's pretty much that there. And we require monthly statistics for New York State. What does the enterprise portal provide in that arena? This should accumulate a total for the month. Yeah, so we do offer statistics, right, Jen, in our managed Wi-Fi portal, where we can get reporting and we can get statistics. Obviously, various different organizations have different criteria, but we can actually do a demo of the portal for you. If you contact your AE, we're happy to show that to you. And then there's other reporting mechanisms we can put in place that we do for our customers with those various stringent needs. Right, Jen, or no?
Yeah, we do offer the report down. You can download from our portal. We just need to know exactly what the requirements are. So if you contact ourselves, we could give you a demonstration of what that portal's capability are. Yep.
And I see Mike Dietz had sent in a question as well. We don't have any slides of the portal that we have here today for this presentation, but as I mentioned, you could probably reach out to any of your reps. I don't know if it's Tara or somebody else, but we can definitely do a portal for you. We can show you what it looks like. We can demo it to you. And quite honestly, like I mentioned earlier, we do have a few customers out there that had some pretty stringent reporting requirements that we were able to satisfy with an add-on to the standard portal that we offer today. So it's really just a matter of you letting us know what your needs and what the requirements are, and then we can go in and we can modify that as best we can. Okay, let's see. That was the last question I see. We'll give it another minute. Well, I think that's pretty much all I see coming in. I want to thank you again, everyone, for joining this next iteration of our Lunch and Learn series here. It was an experience for all of us to get on here and do this again with everyone. We actually love it. If you have any questions or comments about the Lunch and Learn, or if you want to find out more about other products or the new Wi-Fi that we're talking about, feel free, like I said, to reach out to us or your account rep at any point in time. And we'll be happy to sit down with you and whether it's a demo, talk through the technology, or merely just have a conversation, we're happy to jump in and do whatever we can to help out. All righty. So, Jin, thank you again for joining me on this and providing your expertise. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.